There was a smooth changeover with the defending OUA champions in Guelph as the Gryphons promoted defensive coordinator Kevin MacNeill to head coach after Stu Lang stepped aside. I asked Coach Mac about that changeover and if Lang will still be actively involved in the program. So Kevin, from the outside looking in, it looked like there was a pretty smooth transition in Guelph. You've still got the support staff in place. It looked like it was a decision that Stu made probably sometime in the season, and he had a transition plan. Was that the case?
Yeah, Stu definitely wasn't hiding the fact that this was going to be his last season to the inner circle, and we really wanted to win this one for him and ensure his legacy as head coach. And we knew he'd step up into more of an advisory role and kind of still be a big part of this program moving forward. So we're excited to continue to move on, with what he's created and continue, the kind of excellence that he's kind of given us, for this program.
Yeah, we can talk about excellence. I know I visited out there about a year and a half ago to the facility. He's put a lot into facilities for you guys as a legacy item. Tell me how important it was that Stu made that investment in your program, and is he going to be in the type of position with the Gryphons to continue to give support to the program?
Well, the big project that we're actually really excited for, we're breaking ground any day now, is our new pavilion. It's an $8 million football operations pavilion with a brand new locker room that's going to be close to 4,000 square feet. And, we got, 6 new meeting rooms for our team and new coaches' offices. So that new pavilion, the football operations center, is going to be built in 2016. And we're extremely excited for that. There's already talks about, potentially getting stands on the other side of the field. So there's lots of stuff, happening, and we're excited about the future in terms of what we're doing. The key thing that Stu has taught us is that we're not going to be satisfied. We're going to continue to develop and grow our product, and we're not. The Yates Cup isn't a finish. It is the starting of a lot more stuff to come.
Before we get into 2016 and the challenges you have as head coach with the Gryphons, I got to ask you this question because there was a big debate about it online, and that's championship rings. The Gryphons handed out championship rings for the Yates Cup. I think it's a great idea. I think winning your conference means almost as much as a national championship. These are the guys that you're banging heads against all through the course of the season. And it's also a great calling card for future donors and alumni to rally around at a 10th anniversary or a 20th anniversary. Can you understand, though, some of the resistance out there for a conference championship ring?
Well, you can count me as part of the resistance, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I have a national championship ring with 2005 Laurier, and I've never gotten a Yates Cup ring and won several Yates Cups, at Laurier. So it was kind of a new thing for me. And I have to tell you, once I saw the ring and kind of listened to Stu and his reasons why, I think it's a great thing. I mean, it's something for our kids to treasure. It's a big deal for our university. The 4th time our school's won a Yates Cup, so it is important for us. And I'm happy he went ahead and made that decision. But I am a little it got more actual press than I did, as the new head coach. So I'm wondering what's more important, rings or the new head coach of our football program. But I was a little bit at first I was I'm not sure about this, but I tell you what, hey, why not? And it's a cool thing, and it's a great memento for our players, to have for the rest of their lives.
Well, the ring story might actually give you a bit of cover so you can go and get some work done. That may not be such a bad thing. How has the reception been to you getting appointed as head coach in the region? You're a well-known figure around there. Matter of fact, most of your staff is well-known across the country because you're a group that has been recruiting very aggressively across the country over the last couple of years. What's the reception been in the Guelph community? What's the reception been in the national football community? Well,
before I actually accepted the position, I contacted our coaching staff and our captains, and wanted to ensure that the support of our coaches and the players was there before taking on the job. And that was the most important thing for me. The overwhelming support of our staff and players was the biggest thing for me in terms of this position. Getting to go to the Benny Cup and the support from the other coaches in this country was outstanding as well. So the process has been fantastic. It's one of those things that really gives me a lot of confidence going forward with the position.
What sort of parts do you have to work with from the Yates Cup champions from last year? Usually when you're dealing with the championship team, there are guys moving on. I can think of a few on the defensive side where you coordinated last year. Take me through what you see on the depth chart right now.
Well, I think the biggest story, and hopefully, this garners a little bit more press within our own league, is James Roberts. And we have a second-year quarterback. We just won the Yates Cup, which just doesn't happen as a second-year quarterback. Went in and played a valiant game against Montreal. They're a great team. But this is a kid that would still be in CJEP in Quebec, and for this kid to be in his second year as a starter, he beat out a Benny Cup champ at our quarterback position this year to be the starter. I mean, what a great story. And the guy hasn't missed a single practice. He's a captain. He's a guy that rallies the troops. I am so excited to get an opportunity to lead this young man. And he is such an important part of our success. And I don't know who's gone. I just concentrate on who's here. I know who's gone. I'm joking. But, some of those holes are going to be hard to fill with John Rush and potentially some of those guys, being drafted into the CFL. But I'm really excited about our quarterback. I think he's fantastic.
But I think in terms of some of the holes that you have to fill on that depth chart, you guys have done a great job of recruiting over the last few years and recruiting nationally. Are you going to remain committed to going to all corners of the country to build a Gryphons team, and how essential is that for your success?
It's everything. It's something that we believe wholeheartedly here. Guelph's a unique place. There's very few schools that are similar to the University of Guelph and the types of programs and environment culture that we have here in our city. So it's important for us to find the people that really find the programs here that are really to their liking and that will make them successful in their lives. So it's important for us to go across the country and recruit across the country, but it is something that we will continue on in the future for sure.
Do you feel like you're in a university town when you're in Guelph? I know it's smaller. It's got the agricultural college background to it. In a number of centers for the CIS, they're competing not only with CFL teams, but other major league teams. Do you feel like you kind of own that territory? And is there that connection with the community there that you can sell to a potential recruit?
Well, we don't look at it as selling. We look at it as providing, an opportunity to see if this is their best fit. And that's the way we go about our recruiting. It's not a recruit at all costs kind of mentality. We look to find, players that, feel like Guelph would be their best academic, social and athletic, place for them. And that's really a decision that we try not to coerce kids into making those decisions. We want them to feel like they belong here and that they love this school and this community. This is a great place. That's the thing that, I think we're one of the best kept secrets out there for post-secondary options, that we have, a wide breadth of programs from engineering to business to criminal justice, public policy. There's all kinds of great things that the University of Guelph has to offer. And we just look for the kids that are looking to kind of make a smaller, small town kind of feel where, the university is the biggest employer here. That's the environment that they're looking for.
So, Kevin, I've got to ask you about a couple of OUA and CIS related items. First of all, the 8-team national playoff. You've been in the Canada West. You were out here with the UBC Thunderbirds as special teams coordinator. You might understand some resistance to it in the West or the Atlantic provinces, but I can see where it's a great deal for the OUA. What are your thoughts on it, and what are the challenges with it?
Well, and I'm still kind of getting, all the information myself in terms of all the angles to this this type of thing. I know when I first came into the league as a player, there was interlock, and unfortunately it was Ottawa was my 99 was my interlock team, and then they became part of the OUA in 2000. Then we didn't want to play them anymore. But that 1 year where we played Ottawa in 99, it was cool. It was kind of a really neat experience to get to play someone out of conference as part of your schedule. So I think there's a lot of moving factors with it. I think it's something that as a league, as the OUA, we'd like to see equal representation in terms of a chance of winning a national championship, and I think that's something that would make the game better.
Well, I mean, we've seen how big of a deal the Yates Cup has been over the last few years. They even handed rings out for it, from what I'm told. Does the risk of having 3 Ontario teams, 2 losing teams coming into a national playoff, take some of the shine off of that trophy that's behind you there?
Not at all. I think the teams here in the OUA are extremely competitive, more competitive, I think, than people give them credit for. I think we just see the box scores and don't really understand what goes into making those scores, happen. But teams are a lot closer than you'd think. And, like Laurier showed us last year, anyone can win. I don't think anyone really picked them to beat Mac. And they went in and played Western really, really tight in that semifinal. So, I mean, like for me, I think the more times you have opportunities for these Cinderella stories, the better.
We talked with Greg Marshall yesterday. He's of the belief that Waterloo and York are making inroads, and the gap from the bottom 3 are starting to close now with the 2 other layers that are in the OUA. Would you agree with that assessment?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We're recruiting kids against Waterloo and against York, and in the past we never really had to recruit against them, and they're in the conversation with some of the top players now, which is a credit to their coaching staffs and the type of identification that they've been doing. But absolutely, those 2 programs are definitely working hard to improve their product. What
do you think the biggest challenge is for the game right now?
Well, I'd say personally, making my wife happy would be the biggest challenge that I have. Trying to be home enough to see her. But for a conference, I think it's just getting people in the seats. I think if we want this product to be on television, I think you have to have people in the stands. And if you don't have people on the stands, you can't expect people to be watching at home. So for me, I'd like to see more of the attention focused on trying to create more rivalries and getting sold out stadiums. And I think that would be an awesome experience for our players, and then really drive the national interest for our product.
Kevin, really appreciate you taking the time out in Guelph. I know you've been a busy guy, and the changeover to being a head coach and being involved in the U19 team with Team Canada. Thanks very much for your time.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much.